Welcome back to the deep dive. We are officially in part 3 of our series on Brian Tracy's focal point.
Episode 3. We're really getting into it now.
We are. And, if you've been listening to the first 2 parts, you're probably fired up about goals. You've got the vision, you've got this grand plan. But there's usually a hangover that hits right about now in the process.
I simply don't have enough time for this hangover.
Exactly. You look at the goal, you look at your calendar, and the math just doesn't add up. So today, we are tackling simplifying your life. And I have to say, looking at the research for this one, Tracy starts with a premise that actually made me a little defensive.
It's a bit of a slap in the face, isn't it?
It really is, because my first thought is I need to get better at managing my time. I need a new app or a hack. I need to speed up. But Tracy says...
No. Nope. He says you can only control your time to the degree that you stop doing things.
Right, and that's the part that everyone sort of nods at until they hear the rest of the sentence.
Yeah, because it's not just stopping the doom scrolling or, procrastination. Tracy argues you have to stop doing things of little value, even if you enjoy them.
That's the kicker, even if you're good at them.
Especially if you're good at them.
Yeah.
Because those are the comfort tasks. They make you feel busy, they make you feel competent, but they are complexity traps.
Okay, let's define that, because he uses this word complexity a lot. To me, complexity just means hard or confusing.
Right, but he has a very specific formula for it in the book.
Okay.
In the context of focal point, complexity isn't just difficulty. It's defined as anything that increases cost, increases time, and increases the likelihood of mistakes.
Give me a concrete example.
Okay, think about a simple task like sending an email update to your team. Simple, right?
Yeah.
But now, add a requirement that 3 other managers have to approve that email before it goes out.
Nightmare. Total nightmare.
And suddenly, you have increased the time it takes. You've increased the cost because now 4 people are billing time for 1 email, and you've increased the chance of a mistake. That is complexity.
And complexity is the enemy of getting things done.
The enemy of execution.
So the mission of this deep dive is figuring out how to strip that away. Tracy's formula is pretty ruthless. Get brilliant at the 2 or 3 things that actually move the needle.
Yeah.
And then this is the hard part. Aggressively delegate, outsource, or just delete the rest.
Precisely. It's about being ruthless with the non-essentials so you can be brilliant at the essentials.
Delete the rest sounds great on a show like this, but for everyone listening who has a boss or kids or a mortgage, you can't just delete your responsibilities.
No, and you shouldn't just start slashing things randomly. You need a scalpel, not a sword. And that's where Tracy introduces the 7 R's of simplification.
The 7 R's. Okay, usually when I see lists like this, my eyes kind of glaze over. It feels like a textbook.
I get that. But these actually function more like a flowchart for making decisions. They build on each other. You can't really do step 4 if you haven't done step 1.
So let's walk through them. The first one is the foundation, rethinking.
Rethinking is basically the pause button. It all starts with the question, could there be a better way?
Which implies the way I'm doing it now might be wrong.
And that's why it's hard. We get emotionally attached to our workflows. We say, I've always done the weekly report this way. It works. Rethinking requires you to check your ego at the door.
It's admitting that just because you're working hard, it doesn't mean you're working smart.
Exactly. It's the willingness to stand back and just look at your life like a chessboard.
Okay, so I've paused. I've admitted I might be wrong. The next step is reevaluating. Now, to play devil's advocate here, how is that different from rethinking? They sound like synonyms.
They're close, but there's a key nuance. Rethinking is about the method. Reevaluating is about the target. It's about looking at the data you have right now.
Oh, so it's the sunk cost check.
Exactly that. He calls for absolute honesty here. You have to deal with the world as it is, not as it was 2 years ago when you started the project. Are you still trying to sell a product nobody wants?
There's a quote in the source notes here that I think just perfectly captures this. It's from Ambrose Bierce.
From the Devil's Dictionary. I love this one.
Go for it.
Fanaticism is redoubling your efforts after your aim has been forgotten.
Oof. That is terrifyingly accurate. Redoubling your efforts after your aim has been forgotten.
We see it all the time.
Yeah.
People working 80-hour weeks, redoubling their efforts, grinding harder, but they've completely forgotten why they're even doing it. Reevaluating is stopping the fanaticism. It's asking, Is this still the right mountain to climb?
Okay, so we check the method with rethinking, we check the target with reevaluating, now we get tactical. Reorganizing.
Reorganizing is all about efficiency. This is where you look at the inputs. How can I get more output from the same energy? This is your workspace, your schedule, the order you do things in.
Okay, but again, I have to ask, the next one is restructuring. To me, reorganizing and restructuring, they sound like the same thing. What's the distinction?
And that is the most common point of confusion. Think of it this way. Reorganizing is about process.
Okay.
It's cleaning your desk, moving the printer closer, batching your emails. It's making the car drive smoother.
Got it.
Restructuring is about resources. It's the 80-20 rule in action. Restructuring means taking your time, your money, your best people, and physically moving them away from the bottom 80% of activities and putting them only on the top 20%.
So reorganizing is cleaning the desk. Restructuring is making sure the only file on the desk is the $1 million contract.
Perfectly put. That's it. Restructuring is about allocation.
Yeah.
Reorganizing is about workflow.
That makes a huge difference.
Mm.
Okay, next up, re-engineering. This one sounds very corporate, but Tracy gives a really specific, almost mathematical challenge here.
He does, and I love this because it's measurable. He says, take a major task, list out every single step involved, and then set a goal to reduce those steps by 30%.
30%, that seems arbitrary and really aggressive.
It is aggressive, but it forces creativity. If a report takes 10 steps to file, and you have to get it down to 7, you can't just type faster. You have to fundamentally change the process.
And how do we do that? What are the tactics?
You look for the friction points. He gives a few specifics. Can you consolidate 3 steps into 1? Can you assign the whole process to one person so that it doesn't bounce back and forth?
Or can you just eliminate a step that nobody actually uses anymore?
Exactly. Or even just change the order. It's amazing how often we do step 3 before step 2, just out of habit, and it slows everything down.
Okay, number 6, reinventing. This one feels like the heaviest of all the R's.
This is zero-based thinking applied to your whole existence. The question is, knowing what I now know, if I weren't already in this job or this relationship or this career path, would I start it up again today?
That is a brutal question.
It is. But if the answer is no, if you wouldn't hire that person again or buy that stock again, then your primary goal becomes getting out of it. Tracy says, failing to plan is planning to fail. You have to plan your next life before you're forced into it.
Which leads right into the final R, regain control.
This is the mindset shift. It's the realization that no one is coming to save you. No one is going to simplify your life for you. You have to be the one to take the wheel.
So we have the 7 R's. It's a full toolkit. Rethink, reevaluate, reorganize, restructure, reengineer, reinvent, regain control. But here's my issue. You can do all that. You can be super efficient, have a clean desk, and still be miserable if you're driving the car really fast in the wrong direction.
Which brings us right back to values. You cannot simplify if you don't know what truly matters to you. Simplification requires a filter.
The notes call this the focal point process.
Before you start cutting tasks, you need a North Star. Tracy suggests writing down your top 5 values: peace, love, integrity, success, whatever they are for you. But then, and this is the critical part, you have to rank them, 1 through 5.
Why the ranking? Why can't I just have a cluster of values? I mean, life is messy. Sometimes work comes first, sometimes family.
Life is messy, and that's exactly why you need the ranking. Stress comes from conflict between values. If you value career success and family time equally, like literally 50-50 every time you have to choose between a late meeting and a soccer game, you will suffer. You'll feel guilty no matter what you choose.
Oof. Yeah, I feel that.
But if you've ranked them, if you know deep down that family is number 1 and career is number 2, the decision is already made before the conflict even arises. It doesn't mean you don't work hard. It just means when the push comes to shove, you know which one wins.
That clarity, it allows you to do the hardest thing in time management.
Saying no
Saying no.
is your best friend. Tracy argues that your ability to choose between alternatives is your greatest power. If you know your values, saying no isn't being rude. It's defending your life. It's saying no to the low-value stuff so you can say yes to the high-value stuff.
Okay, we've gone deep on the philosophy. We have the framework. But I want to land this plane. What do we do today? The source gives us 6 ways to simplify your life. Let's rapid fire these because I really want to get to the last one, which is, I think it's controversial.
Let's do it.
Number 1, clean up the clutter.
But specifically, clear your workspace. The rule is single handling. Only have the one thing you are working on in front of you. If you aren't working on it right now, get it off the desk.
Number 2, throw away junk reading material.
Be ruthless with this. If you have a stack of magazines or industry newsletters you're saving for someday, just throw them out. You're not going to read them. It's just visual noise creating subconscious stress.
Number 3, resist temptation. Specifically media.
Turn off the radio in the car.
Yeah.
Turn off the TV in the background. We are drowning in input. You need to reclaim silence so your mind can relax.
Number 4, go through your environment.
The deep clean. The car, the closet, the garage. Tracy has a great little checklist here. Get rid of anything that is fashionable, obsolete, unnecessary, or irreparable.
Fashionable, obsolete, unnecessary, or irreparable. Wow, that basically describes my entire garage.
Get rid of it. External order creates internal calm. You can't think clearly in a junkyard.
Okay, number 5.
Yeah.
This is the big one. I saved this for last because, frankly, it sounds the most difficult for a modern human being.
Yeah.
Practice solitude.
This is the core micro habit of the entire deep dive today. If you do nothing else from this, do this.
The instruction is to sit quietly by yourself for 30 to 60 minutes daily.
Yes.
60 minutes doing nothing. That sounds like torture. I mean, honestly, most people panic if they leave their phone in the other room for 5 minutes.
It does sound like torture. And I'll be honest, the first 20 minutes will feel like torture. You'll be fidgety, you'll be bored, your brain will be screaming for a dopamine hit. But Tracy insists on this. No podcast, no book, no writing. Just sitting.
Why? What is the payoff for that kind of intentional boredom?
The payoff is clarity. He uses this analogy of a glass of muddy water. If you keep stirring it, which is what we do all day with our phones and emails and notifications, it stays muddy. You can't see through it.
Okay.
But if you just let it sit undisturbed for 30 minutes, the mud settles to the bottom. The water becomes clear.
And what happens in the clear water?
He claims that in that last half hour, once the mud settles, ideas will bubble up that are so profound they can solve your biggest problems or change your career. It's about accessing your own intuition, which is usually drowned out by all the noise.
So the breakthrough is on the other side of the boredom.
Always. You have to endure the silence to hear the answer.
That is a challenge I think we should all accept. And finally, number 6, take action immediately.
Right. This is the antidote to analysis paralysis. Don't sit in the chair just analyzing your clutter. Pick up one piece of paper, throw it away. Do something, do anything. Action creates its own momentum.
So that's the challenge for this week. We've given you the 7 R's to rethink your workflow. We've told you to rank your values so you can say no. And now we're challenging you to just sit in silence.
Just try it once. See what bubbles up for you.
And remember that Ambrose Bierce quote, "Don't be a fanatic. Don't redouble your efforts if you've forgotten your aim. Stop, look at the map."
And simplify.
That is a wrap for episode 3 of our deep dive into Focal Point. We are halfway through this journey, and there is so much more to uncover. If this helped you clear even a little bit of the fog, hit that like and subscribe button. You do not want to miss what's coming next.
See you next time.
Thanks for listening.